If you're a leader, you already know that trust is, well, it's everything. But what if you could stop just hoping for a high trust team and start intentionally designing one? Today, we're going to unpack a powerful framework that shows you exactly how to become that architect of trust.
So let's just dive right in with the big one, the question every single leader faces. We all talk about how trust is the foundation, but how do you actually measure it? How do you put a number or any kind of metric on something that feels so intangible? And for most of us, that's what it comes down to, right? It's just a gut feeling. You get a sense and intuition about who you can really count on. And look, that's useful for sure, but it's also really subjective and kind of hard to act on. But what if there was a more structured way? A blueprint, even? Well, that's exactly what we're here to explain.
All right, so how do we move beyond that gut feeling? Well, we start with our first big concept, the responsibility blueprint. I want you to think of this as your game plan for moving from the hazy fog of ambiguity to the clear, solid structure of real architecture. It's all about building your team's foundation on purpose. So what exactly is a responsibility model? It's literally the blueprint for your team. It's a framework designed to create absolute, total clarity. It's about defining roles, clarifying who owns what, and setting crystal clear expectations. So instead of people wondering, hey, who's handling the weekly report? The blueprint makes it obvious. Oh, that's Sarah's responsibility. And here's the exact standard she's accountable for. No more confusion. It's that simple. Now, building this blueprint isn't some big abstract theory. It's actually a really practical three-step process. First, you define the roles with real precision. Second, you clarify exactly who owns which outcomes, no gray areas. And third, you communicate those expectations clearly, and you do it all the time. When these three steps are locked in, that ambiguity, it pretty much just vanishes. Okay, so you've drawn the blueprint. You've got total clarity on roles and responsibilities. Now what? How do you assess the people who are working inside that structure? This is where we bring in our second amazing tool, the 3 pillars of trust, which is a framework you can use with a simple matrix. The source material for this gives us these 3 incredibly powerful words. The goal is to evaluate your team members on whether they are trustworthy, reliable, and believable. And here's the key. These are not the same thing. There are 3 totally distinct, measurable pillars that hold up the idea of overall trust. And this is what's so brilliant about it. It really breaks down the difference. Being trustworthy, that's all about their character, their intent. Do you believe their heart is in the right place? Being reliable, that's purely about their actions and consistency. Do they actually do what they say they're going to do? And finally, being believable is about their credibility and their honesty. Are they truthful, and do they have the expertise to back up what they're saying? This framework gives you a way more nuanced conversation. So, how do you put this to work? You use a simple trust matrix, something that looks a lot like this one. For each person on your team, you can systematically assess them against each of these pillars. This turns a vague feeling like, I'm not so sure about Alex, into a really specific diagnosis. Okay, Alex's heart is in the right place, so he's trustworthy. And he definitely knows his stuff, so he's believable, but he consistently misses his deadlines, so he's not reliable. And just like that, you have a clear roadmap for a development conversation, not just a gut feeling. Okay, so now we bring it all together. See, this is about way more than just managing a team. It's about architecting it. When you combine that responsibility blueprint with the trust matrix, you've got the complete toolkit you need to design and build a team that's truly founded on clarity and trust. So why does all of this matter so much? What's the big deal? Well, because this whole approach gets rid of so much of the friction that ambiguity causes. It gives you a fair, objective way to evaluate people, which is the absolute bedrock of psychological safety. And maybe most importantly, it empowers you to build a high-trust culture on purpose, intentionally. It literally moves your leadership from guesswork to design. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. As the architect of your team's success, you now have the tools. The only real question left is, what is the first blueprint you're going to draw for your team?